All right. Mic test. Yeah, it's working. All right. Let's get straight into it. So I was watching the Fresh Prince of Wakanda's YouTube channel today. Well, I'm subscribed to, so it comes up on my feed. And he did actually a surprisingly long video. And the title of the video that he did was, "Is there hypocrisy within the diasporan community? Are we too scared to call out our own bad eggs?" So I seen that title and I said, okay, definitely let me check this out. Because at first I was kind of, I don't know, it was weird. I was kind of unsure where he would have been going, like in terms of the direction, just based off the title. So I'm watching it, watch the whole thing through and through, and it's basically what I've been kind of. He's cleaned up kind of my what I've been saying on my channel and like my thoughts and sentiments on people from the diaspora packing up and call themselves going to, the motherland and living out their days in the motherland, and they're starting up businesses and all this kind of stuff, right? And he made some very, very true points. I mean, pretty much all of his points. I don't think there was anyone that I particularly disagreed with. But towards the end, he was mentioning about, it's basically about holding people accountable for what they do, right? Hold people accountable for what they do. The diaspora has a real issue, it looks like, when it comes to holding people accountable and not finger pointing when they've been caught with their pants down. Like, it seems a typical response to everything, if something goes wrong concerning somebody within the diaspora, it becomes a finger point of, oh, well, what about the Chinese? What about the Indians? What about the Arabs? What about these ones? What about that one? Instead of taking responsibility and saying, I did this wrong. Yes, I am wrong for what I did. You know, I shouldn't have done this. Or people calling it out and saying, hey, yeah, you cannot trust this person. Fresh Prince also made a good point as well. And I think that this is really the root of why diasporans don't want to hold themselves accountable, because I think there's still a feeling of it's us and it's them, right? But you have these people that profess to be so Pan-African. They profess to be, so pro-black and they love Africa and so on and so forth. And, the typical, I want to connect with my ancestors type of talk, right? But if you're part of the collective, if you call yourself as part of the African collective, I don't understand, why do you have such an issue with calling out people that are scamming? Why do we need to talk about other groups of people in Africa? I mean, it's not really relevant. It's so irrelevant. And I find it actually quite annoying that people will say, well, what about such and such in Africa? And it's like, well, okay, you're from the Caribbean. What about these people in the Caribbean? That doesn't mean anything. It means absolutely nothing. The difference between these foreigners, these non-Africans in Africa, and diasporans returning is that diasporans profess to be a part of the collective, or they want to be a part of the collective, right? But they, some, I'm not gonna say all, because I'm obviously part of the diaspora and I don't feel entitled to anything, but there seems to be this underlying sense of entitlement that, because of what took place historically, and now you've had the chance to be able to go back to Africa, you feel, say, that you can kind of do whatever you want. So if that means that you're going to get some land from a chief and call yourself selling it illegally, the fact is, no one should be saying anything because, well, look at the Chinese, they're going to take the land. Ignore the fact that I'm doing this illegally. I'm not a citizen. I don't have any license, and I have no right to be doing that in this country. It's finger point at other people. Hey, distract yourself with these other people. Look at what they're doing. And it's really disgusting. I find it so disturbing how people can just, talk one thing out of one side of their mouth, but on the other side of their mouth, they're saying something completely different. They talk about they love Africa, but in the next breath they say, well, I don't respect your laws. I don't respect how your customs. I don't respect even your language, right? You got people there that don't speak the language, that don't seem to want to speak the language. You got people going there living off of PayPal donations and YouTube donations and all this kind of stuff. I mean, it's crazy. I really believe that it is down to entitlement, and there's this us versus them, because like Fresh Prince quite rightly pointed out as well, with this Haman Jallo thing that's going on. It's okay, they're calling it Scambia, these Africans are scamming, all this sorts of stuff, Africans this, Africans that, and like, Rene Marcus as well, everyone coming for Rene Marcus, all this kind of stuff. See, I'm just going to end up echoing his points, but his points are really valid. There's all these people that are coming after Rene Marcus. I go into a live stream and it's just like you got these random pages coming in, just going in on her. The topic is nothing to do with her, and people are still going in on her type of thing, right? But it's never quite the same, for someone like a Dynasty Mir or trying to think, the Bags people. It's, oh well, they look at them, they're in Africa, you're not in Africa, you're an African, why aren't you in your country? See, they're doing the thing. And what's going to happen is, as well, for Africans that live in the continent or that live abroad, that kind of kowtow to this nonsense that they try to pull over on people about, well, we're Pan-African or we're doing it and we live in Africa and you don't. When you keep allowing this and you keep acquiescing to this type of behavior, eventually it's going to reach a point where continentals are going to feel like they're really being encroached on and infringed on when it comes to their way of life or laws and so on and so forth. And there's going to be a breaking point, because they're going to say, well, who are these people? They don't care that your ancestors, left the continent however many hundreds of years ago. It's not really relevant. You're coming back now, trying to change, you're trying to change, constitutions, that say in the case of the Gambia and all these other things. They're going to start to feel encroached on. And it's going to be that one thing that's going to like snap. It's going to snap. And then that's when all hell is going to break loose. I really genuinely believe that. So I think that what continentals and African, diasporas, in like people from the continent living abroad, don't allow these people to guilt you into handing over your passport and your citizenship and your land and all this kind of stuff. You can't allow it to happen, because okay, these people are on YouTube and some will say like, oh, it's just entertainment, it's just YouTube stuff. These are real people. What you're seeing is they're not CGI, they're not robots. These are real people, and their followers are also real people. You might think it's just a joke. Oh, they don't really mean that. No, they're real people. And the sentiments that you're seeing that come from, followers and stuff like that, as they say, birds of a feather flock together. How do you know that most of these people don't have the same mindset as, people that feel that it's okay to go to a foreign country and start doing illegal land business or raffling and all this gambling or whatever's going on? This is really problematic. It is very, very problematic, and Africans need to start, really start. Like, you can basically push back and say, no, wait, hold on, this isn't right. Don't let them trick you with the, well, this is Pan-Africanism and you're against Pan-Africanism and you're against Black unity. Don't let them guilt you with that. Don't let them play with your head with that. That's all just distraction tactics from, the fact, what it is, right? Holding people accountable, not allowing people to talk about other people that are irrelevant to the conversation. Keep it fair. If wrong is wrong, you want to call yourself African and part of the collective, well, guess what? If Black Sit is out here selling land illegally and she's not meant to do that, well, then guess what? I've had no problems calling her up, because I see it as wrong is wrong. I don't care if you're from the same background as me or not. Wrong is wrong. You have no business going somewhere that you're not from, right? No matter how much roots that you watch, you're not from there. You're not. And you're going to start call yourself doing the legal land business and causing all this chaos and all this trouble and trying to change a country's constitution. Or, you've got people call themselves farmers, can't, harvest nothing, hiring just about anybody and feeling like you're doing something because you're paying them some pennies. Like this is very imperialistic. It looks quite imperialistic from the outside looking in. I don't really, mess with really too many of these people. Um, I don't profess to be a Pan Africanist whatsoever. I'm not really in agreement with the ideology because it seems that people tend to go with this Marcus Garvey, let's go to Africa and quote unquote help and develop it, and they're not seeming to do anything, right? It just okay, they love Africa as they say, but what are they even doing to help and contribute to the people? Well, yeah, exactly. That's the thing. All right, you open up a business and you're selling, goods or a service to people, but what are you really doing? What are you actually doing? It doesn't seem like you're really doing much. You're no different to the Chinese or the Indian that's going over there. But the only thing that you're gonna say is, "Well, I'm a Pan Africanist, or we're black, or we're from the African diaspora, so it's okay," and it's not okay. I'm not understanding why people are so scared to call it out. Like it's what's the fear? They're not gonna fight you. They can't sue you. I think a lot of the time when people do all this cease and desist, you can't take it too serious. What are they really gonna do to you? And if you're broke, I mean, what are they gonna? How are they gonna get money out of you if you ain't got no money? They're not gonna really waste their time going through a whole legal proceeding because of some words that you said on YouTube. These people are pulling bluff. That's what they're doing. It's not real. What they're doing is not real. Hold these people's feet to the fire. The same way if you're in the UK or in the US and someone is doing something illegal or they scam you, you're going to be quick to report that, hey, this person did such and such. It is illegal. I know my rights. But it seems like, when someone can sway you with words and an ideology, it's like religion. They can preach to you and they get you into such a frenzy. They whip you up into a religious frenzy that it's like now they can't see any wrongdoing that you do. You could be, I mean, you see it with religion. You see, like, these Catholic priests and all this kind of stuff, doing all this kind of craziness, but people can't see past, the veneer, the illusion of, oh, they're a good person. They have these same beliefs. I want to be a part of this thing, you know, even like with this Hammond Jallow thing, for instance, right? I had a thought earlier on today. I don't even know if I'll be able to articulate it properly because it's been hours past now and whatnot, and I've been able to deal with other things. But with that situation, that's kind of like, how can I say? Hammond has been, from what I've observed and from what I've heard, because I don't get too invested in these people's channels like that. Like, I don't subscribe to them. I kind of just watch commentary and I might check out a few of their videos, but you know, it's kind of like people are saying that he's scamming, right? Which, from what I've seen and from what I've heard, it appears to be a huge scam. However, if he was not introduced to this YouTube, super chat, PayPal, GoFundMe lifestyle from people in the diaspora who should have been financially stable going over there in the first place, something like this wouldn't happen, right? Something like this would not be happening. It should be made clear, if you're going to go and live somewhere, you need to have an actual proper source of income, right? You need a verifiable source of income. YouTube shouldn't be, unless you're you got 100 million subscribers, or you got millions, you're in the millions when it comes to subscribership. Really, you ain't got no business moving to Africa calling yourself developing this and building that, and you're waiting for the old chicken change from YouTube, and don't they take like 30% of your money anyway? If you don't even make X amount of money, they don't give you it in terms of your AdSense, from what I understand. But it's all well and good calling Hammond a scammer. Everyone wants to go in on him, rightfully so. Yeah, he's wrong. from what I've seen. But again, I think he was introduced to this way of thinking through diasporans. Be it the Black Acres of the Gambia people or Blacksit and all these other people. They show them, hey, look, you can get money like this too, and that shouldn't be the case. It's all wrong. Everything is all wrong with this situation. Yeah, it's like, yeah, people do. It's an ego thing. People go over there thinking like, look at me, I'm from the West. I've got this money. I have this vision, Pan Africanism, history, blah blah blah. This is what we're gonna do. They have this whole ideology with them, and then once they get there, they feel like, okay, I built this one thing, this one insignificant thing, and they feel like they've done something. It's a lot of ego. And I think as well, a lot of these people, they really hate the critique because it does damage their ego. They feel like they're being attacked. And it's not about you being attacked, but it's about you being held accountable for the wrong that you're doing. I don't understand why people find it so hard to just respect the laws that are about in these countries. I don't understand why it's so hard. If other ethnic groups, I'm going to assume, right, that they are following the laws when it comes to going to Africa, that they're following the laws there, right? If they're following the laws, then what can you do? If they're able to legally buy land, then it is what it is. They're following the law. Why is it that you've got people in the diaspora that feel that they can kind of just do whatever the hell they want to do? I'm not understanding this. This doesn't make sense to me. This is why I said before, diaspora people don't really deserve Africa. It's not something that is entitled to you as much as you might think it is. But, we have to remember, like, let's not act like our parents come from Africa and we're going back. We are centuries removed from the continent. We're not exactly we're never exactly the same in Africa anyway because you have so much diversity, but we're not the same. You going over there with your ways and we're not exactly the same. We may not see eye to eye on certain things when it comes to lifestyle, worldviews and so on and so forth, and all of that stuff has to be respected. You can't go to somebody's country and just break the laws like that thinking that you have a right to get away with it because of the shade of your skin. It doesn't make sense. It really and truly doesn't make sense. But Fresh Prince of Wakanda, check out his video. There is definitely a hypocrisy in the diaspora community, and I do think that it's down to entitlement and an us versus them mentality that I think is deep rooted. Maybe they're not even conscious that that's how they're doing it, but when you look at it, it is a thing of let's cover up for diasporans. It's excuses of, well, it's culture. They're not used to the culture. And that's no excuse. It's no excuse. If you call yourself going to go live in another country, you better adapt. You have to adapt. There's no point in you trying to pull an excuse of, oh, well, they're not used to the culture, or, oh, they didn't know. Incompetence is an excuse. Ignorance is an excuse. You're right, Ellen.
Yeah, like they want to like go there and like think they got power or something. That's what I got a problem with. You know?
That's the thing. I mean, like we've been saying before, if someone brought this entitlement mindset back to the Caribbean, it just wouldn't work.
No,
They know it won't work. People of Caribbean origin know it's not gonna go down well. But I think as well, again with this us versus them and this entitlement, people kind of still want to use slavery as a justification for literally going to Africa and doing whatever the hell they want.
wow,
And so it's like, well, I mean, I'm not saying it's factual, that's just how I view it. But it's like, okay, because of what we went through, we know we're from the diaspora and slavery, and we know it's messed us up. So we're just going to use that to cover for a person in the diaspora if they do something wrong. It's not acceptable.
true. Wow.
You see, a lot of these people, they're quite fake. They're quite fake. They talk it, they talk all this Africa, but they don't respect it. They
That
don't
that is the
respect the
whole
people.
thing about Pan Africanism, bro. They talk about talk about all this Africa, but they what do they really respect, or what do they really know about Africa?
That's it, nothing. And that's the problem. We don't really you see. You saw the debate that was going on in that other server, right?
Yeah.
Right. And this is my issue. Maybe I wasn't articulating my points in there. It's easier for me to say it verbally. We, at least in the diaspora, we don't really know Africa as someone that lives there, or they have direct parentage. We
No.
just don't. We don't understand the inner workings and the intricacies of Africa. There's a lot of diversity within Africa. So it's not fair for you as an outsider, because that's what we are. We are outsiders, whether you like it or not, to go over there and think that you can impose certain things on the people there.
Wow.
It's not fair. Or, you can go over there and commit crime and then try to use, your black card or, slavery card
Mm-hmm.
as an excuse, or I didn't know. The
The
ignorance
law is
card.
the law, bro.
Say that again?
I said the law is the law. It's
Yeah,
there.
exactly. The law is the law. Whether you like it or not, the law is the law. That's how it works. It's not okay. Be accountable. If it this should really be a deterrent. This type of thing should be a deterrent. You shouldn't want to have to be held accountable, because you should be doing the right thing in the first place.
Sure.
They know that what they're doing isn't right. But and the way that you see it is, the first thing that you do is, when people start talking about what they see or what they experience with a certain individual, they first want to start with the legal threats. They want to shut you up.
Wow.
They'll send you a cease and desist, and they're trying to intimidate you into being quiet in case you have to start facing legal action. And it's all because they don't want to be held accountable. They don't want to have the light shone on them for the wrong that they're doing, right?
But they end up blaming the other people that they're doing wrong, but they don't see for themselves,
Yeah,
that
of
you
course,
are
because
doing
it's
it.
everybody else's fault. If you're against, that means you're against Black progress. You're against Pan Africanism. You're pro the white man,
Right.
or
Listen, but all this
what
thing
about the
about
Chinese?
listen, and they only talk about Africa, Africa, and they say they only talk. What are they actually doing for Africa, bro?
I mean, it makes you question. It does make you question. It really, really does make you question. This is why it's not realistic. People really need to start. Just have a think about it. Stop rushing to pack up and move to somewhere that you have nothing to do with, that you don't really know about, because somebody sold you a dream. You can't do that.
Exactly what it is.
You can't do that. I don't know about no one else. All I can say is I'll speak for myself. I've been calling this out. There is hypocrisy within the diasporan community. I'm not even really a part of, let's say, the diasporan community, in the sense where I haven't like traveled to Africa or ever said that I'm making plans to live there. But I see the wrong that's going on. I'm seeing the fraud that's going on. The potential tampering of politicians and so on and so forth to fit a diaspora agenda, and these people are doing it that's the thing, they call themselves doing it on behalf of us as the diaspora,
Wow.
which is what makes it worse. So now what happens is, again, like I was saying with to Africans, you keep on allowing this stuff to happen. You have to be as vocal as you can about it, and potentially put a stop to it if you can, because what's going to happen is that things are going to get worse, and people are going to be more and more encroached on, and then it's going to be Africa versus the diaspora, and we don't
That
need
is
that.
that is something that happened in Liberia. That's the exact thing. Because all those Africa want to go back to Africa. Like, do you accept and learn the people's culture, language, and history and all this stuff? We just want to go there to do what exactly?
Well, this is the thing. You've got the people that say to invest. They want to invest. They want to buy land. They
Oh,
want to buy a
they're
house.
opportunists. They're opportunists.
Yeah, it's opportunity. Yeah,
That's what
it's just
that's what they
opportunist.
are.
Because I think a lot of these people, they wouldn't really pay any attention to Africa for any other reason. It's because something happened. Is why they now want to pay attention to Africa. Like for
Wow,
this black sit woman, I don't buy her story. I keep saying that I don't buy her story, but according to her, it was something to do with racism, and because that happened, it's like right, pack up, let's go to Africa. But I feel like if that situation, whatever did take place, wasn't to happen, what's to say that she would really have any interest?
wow.
That makes you question. What's to say that there would be any genuine interest? You can't say. You see, but I think I pretty much addressed. I can't really think of my other points that I had earlier on. That debate, the Pan African debate on Discord, that threw me off. I'm not gonna lie, it did.
Wow.
Yeah, it got too hectic in there, man. It got way too hectic in there. You know what? I wish actually I would like to have a conversation. I don't know if anyone that's watching is like African that that I could ask a bunch of questions about how they feel about Pan Africanism. Have they experienced it? What do they see from the diaspora when it comes to Pan Africanism? Do they agree with it? Do they feel like it could be useful for them? Because I really don't think that an outside ideology, I'm going to keep calling it outside. People say, oh, well, um, you've got Africans who are part of the Pan Africanist movement. Yes,
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
true.
indeed.
But I think the foundation of the ideology lies in the diaspora.
Yep,
From how
that's
we know Pan Africanism today, that's coming from the diaspora. That's not a homegrown African ideology. But this is the ideology that they're using to justify what is going on. But I mean, yeah, this could really be kind of like we can add on to this type of subject when it comes to the hypocrisy and see it with the whole Pan Africanist movement, the entitlement, feeling like you can go over to Africa and do what you want,
wow.
control affairs, and all these types of things. That's just how I see it. That's how I see it from what I've been hearing, reading, witnessing, and all this sorts of stuff. That's just how I view it. I mean, what's your opinion on it?
It's just false. It's just a false sense of humor, you know? That's what I mean. But I don't get you going to Africa, but you don't want to learn their language. You don't want to learn their culture. You don't want to like live how they live. You just want to go there because you see an opportunity for you to make money. And like, oh,
Right, yeah, and apparently they don't mix with the locals. They don't really mingle with the locals too well. That's another problem. It's like I think a lot of these people they want to see Africa, but without Africans in it. It's just
wow,
okay. We're going to Africa because we're Africans, and it's like what we say goes, what we think matters. Really and truly, we us in the diaspora, our voice. You can have an opinion, absolutely,
yeah,
but your voice doesn't really hold any weight. If we want to be fair, it doesn't hold any weight. We're just, we're outsiders. That's
basically,
it.
yeah.
We're outsiders, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's not saying that we're not African, we're not of African descent, but we're outsiders, and we have to be respectful. We can't be going into people's countries, breaking the law, running shady business, exploiting local people. Why is it that no one's calling out exploitation of local people?
Wow.
That is disgusting. Why is no one calling that out? It's oh well, look, they're doing it. This apparently this black acres of the Gambia family they pay their workers like under $1 a day or something like this. Now,
Wow.
perhaps, maybe that's normal. Like that's an average salary there
Yeah,
in the Gambia. But when you're raking in money from people in different parts of the world, in more developed and more rich parts of the world, and all you can do is pay people pennies, you're exploiting them.
that no, no, no. This is the same thing. You want to go there to make money, right? You say all this Pan African thing, but yes, still, you're gonna underpay these dudes? No, that makes sense. No,
I mean, it will be like me coming to Trinidad, right? And I start a business, let's say, and I'm just gonna pay everyone minimum wage. I have the money, but guess what? I'm also gonna film them to show. Look, see, I've given these people jobs.
that's
See, look at this.
exploitation.
They work for me. Yeah, it's exploitation. It's exploitation because what that does is people that are on the outside that want to be a part of something that they're from the diaspora. They they say they want to support something that's Pan African. They see
Oh,
that and then that generates more money because people are going to say, well, I see something I can donate to. And they're generating more money off of exploiting these people. But no one wants to say anything. I really have to question why. What are people in the diaspora scared of? Or is it that you just don't care? Is it because you would do the same thing if you were given a chance? Like what is it?
wow.
Wrong is wrong. What is it? Why is it so hard to call out the truth? Why is it so hard to, what's the saying? Talk the truth and make the devil shame. Like, why is it so hard to do that? What's the problem? Is it because you feel that you can do that? Is it because slavery and you're returning to Africa and you feel say that you can do what you
I
want?
don't know why do people like use us as an excuse. That is not a valid excuse.
It's not a valid excuse. It's not, but I don't think it's something that people are saying outwardly. But when I'm looking at it, I think that's what it is inward.
Oh yeah.
It's inwardly. It's well, I'm returning to the continent and I'm seeing that the Chinese are doing this, that, and the third, so I should be able to do it too. If the
So
Chinese are doing something illegal, it doesn't mean that you can do something illegal because, well, you share the same skin color as the majority in the country. It doesn't work like that. If your friend jumps off a bridge, you're gonna jump off the bridge too. It's the same kind of logic. So the Chinese might be doing something illegal, the Arabs might be doing something illegal, but because you share the same skin tone, you feel that you can do the same thing. No, it doesn't work like that.
wow.
It doesn't work like that at all. These people are doing too much, and it's all in the name of Pan Africanism. And we've been looking at that argument today. And you know what? I'm willing to concede. Let's just say, right? Let's
Hmm.
just say that my view of Pan Africanism is wrong, and it's because of what I see online and what these people do when they go to Africa that it skewed my view of it. Then why aren't these Pan Africanists coming out and speaking against these people who do it in the name of Pan Africanism?
Wow, that is so true. Hypocrisy.
It's
Really.
hypocrisy. Absolute hypocrisy. Why don't they do that? What's stopping them? There's nothing stopping these people, but they're either I I highly doubt that they're too scared. They're complicit, or they would do the same thing if they had the chance, which goes to show that they don't really care about Africa the way that they say that they do.
No, they don't care.
And people don't care, but Africans, continentals, and those that live abroad, please don't allow them to guilt you. Don't cape for all of this. Don't make up excuses for why they're doing this. Don't cover for these people. Don't do it. Because the more that you cover, you give these people an inch, they'll take, a mile, two
That is
miles,
what happened.
10 miles, and soon they'll have your whole place. So I think that's pretty much all I have to say, addressing the Fresh Prince of Wakanda's video. Let me Let me put it in the description. Go ahead. Did you want to say anything else?
No, just
We'll put this in the description and people can check it out. That is there in the description. Diasporans, just do better. Like, I don't understand, why is it you feel that you go to Africa, you can just start doing all this stuff that you couldn't get away with in America? Stop it. Do it the legit way. If you feel that you can't abide by a law in a country, then just leave the country.
simple.
If you can follow the law, you hate the UK, you hate the US, but you can follow the law there. You say that you love Africa, but you can't follow the laws of Africa. How does that make sense?
Mhm.
Do the right thing, get yourself registered. If it means, if you're gonna have to do the legal way and it means that you can't have certain, I don't know, privileges, whatever it is, then so be it. You're just gonna have to wait like everybody else. Citizenship, same thing. If you have to wait 15 years, well, wait the 15 years. It is what it is, because that's what the law says, and you're gonna respect their laws. The same way, if someone was going to Barbados and breaking the laws, it's illegal in Barbados to wear camouflage. It's illegal. You're not allowed to do
Mhm.
that.
Same in Trinidad.
Right. I don't care how stupid you think the law is, but the law is the law. So you have no right to go there wearing camouflage print and doing it whatever you want. Or you start a camouflage print business and sell it to civilians. You don't have a right to do that. Just because you're from the Caribbean, you feel you can do that. It doesn't work. So do better than what you're doing. Africans, please don't feel scared to call these people out. Don't. But I think, yeah, that's pretty much my final word on it. The heat is killing me. It's this heat wave. The fan is blowing hot air. I'm tired. It's messing with my thoughts a bit, I think. But yeah, no, that's pretty much what I want to say. Just have your last words, and then we'll probably just cut this out.
I'm just saying, like, don't let them come take over your country. Because at the end of the day, they come in there, but they won't learn your culture. They won't learn your language. They come in there to do their own thing. They're not coming there for the sake of you. They just use Pan Africanism as this big thing to,
Hmm. Like
I
a
was think,
Trojan, like it's like a Trojan horse. You're saying that Pan
yeah,
Africanism is like a Trojan horse,
yeah, that is exactly what it is.
right? Yeah, no, I agree. I agree 100%. Definitely. Well, it's the end of the stream. Again, check the description for the link to Fresh Prince of Wakanda's video on it. He keeps up and he does really methodic and precise videos breaking down these scammers, fraudsters, and shady people from the diaspora that go to Africa claiming to be land agents and selling land. But once they get your money, then it's all hell from that point on. But yep, thank you so much for jumping on that panel as well, Alan.
Yeah.
All right, and yeah, we're done. Have a good night, everybody.